welcome to my kitchen. My name is Cheri, and today is National Baby Back Ribs Day. Or I think it's Baby Back. It might be just National Ribs Day. Either way, it's Ribs Day, but it's also Thirsty Thursday, which we normally make a cocktail. And instead of making a cocktail, we are going to make cocktail ribs. But before I get started, if this is your first time here, you love food, fun, and normally drinks, today eats. If you love drinks and eats, hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell and check the description below so you can find details on how subscribing helps to feed the hungry. So cocktail ribs, you might be wondering, what are cocktail ribs? So basically they're just like cocktail size. They are, kind of little finger foods. They're little mini ribs. And so all you need to do this is a slab of ribs and a butcher that's willing to cut the sucker in half this way. So you can do like St. Louis style, baby back, whatever, but you need to have them sliced lengthwise. So usually any butcher at any supermarket, if you just take in the package of ribs and say, will you slice them this way? They'll do it for you. So the other thing that I did last time I did ribs was I talked about trying to remove this skin or this membrane on the back here, and I had quite the time with that, and I gave up on it. So I've talked to several people since then, one of which was my husband. So some people, make it a point to remove it. Other people leave it. Some people depends on, how thick it is. But basically you want to try to get that skin off there because it's going to keep your marinade or your rub from penetrating the meat. But today, because I'm just going to be slicing these individually, and we're going to be making little ribs, I'm not going to worry about that. Plus, I'm just not any good at it either. And I did try to trim off most of the fat, and if you guys have been watching for a while, you know I'm not any good at that either. So I went ahead and did that. But what I'm going to do now is we're just going to take these and we're going to slice right between the bone. So then when I get done slicing all of these, I'm just going to go ahead and transfer these to a Ziploc bag. I'm going to get my hands all washed up, and then we can work on a marinade. All right, ribs are cut and transferred to a bag, so it is time to make our marinade. And since it's Thirsty Thursday, these are cocktail ribs, it's cocktail day, we have to use some sort of alcohol on these. So we're gonna marinate these in some whiskey. So I have actually got, Jack Daniel's Tennessee honey here. So we want a 1/4 cup of this. And I decided to go with the honey whiskey because this is a shot left in here. 1/4 cup. I decided to go with the honey whiskey because I'm also going to put honey in here. So 1/4 cup of the honey whiskey and a 1/4 cup of honey, which I probably showed you guys this before, but if you spray your cup first before you measure out anything that's sticky like corn syrup or honey, it'll come out of here a lot easier. And so your measurement is much more accurate. Plus it makes the cleanup a little bit easier. All right, so 1/4 cup of that, and then also a 1/4 cup of soy sauce. So I'm going to go ahead and whisk this together. I'm also going to add in 2 teaspoons of white pepper. And then we will add, 2 or 3 garlic cloves here. The whiskey's strong. Okay, and a tiny bit of nutmeg. That should be good. All right. I think that's everything. Oh, nope, we need 1 teaspoon of sesame oil. So just about a teaspoon in there. All right, now we'll whisk this together. And that is it. So the next thing we're going to do is pour this over our ribs. And then we're going to seal this up. Make sure they're all nice and coated. And then I'm going to transfer this to the refrigerator, and I'm going to let these marinate for just about an hour or so. It's been just about an hour and a half. And one thing I forgot to mention is when I had these marinating in the fridge, so like every 20 minutes or so, I would just go in there and I would flip the bag. And that way I just know that they're all, kind of coated evenly. So I'm going to open this up, and then we're just going to spread our wings out. Spread our wings. These aren't wings. These are ribs, cocktail ribs, riblets as I like to call them. So we're just going to put these on the cookie sheet. We're going to make sure we do this all in one single layer. All right, now that we've got all of our wings on our baking sheet, we can go ahead and transfer this to the oven. So it is on 375 degrees, and I'm going to let these bake for about 20 minutes. And in the meantime, I'm going to grab my burner and a saucepan, and we are going to turn this marinade into a basting sauce and dipping sauce. All right, so off to the oven. So I grabbed my burner, my saucepan. I also have my marinade here. So I'm going to go ahead and dump this in here. Now, you have to keep in mind, the only way you can reuse a marinade is if you boil it, so you kill all the bacteria in there. So the other things that I grabbed was a little bit of red pepper. So just a few of those for heat. And then I've got some brown sugar. So I'm just going to use what's left in this bag here. I'm going to guess and say that's about 1/4 cup packed. And then I also have a lime here. So we need the juice of 1 lime. We need to get a little bit of acidity in there. All right, so there's half of it, and then the other half here. There we go. And then I'm just going to grab a whisk. Whisk this together, and then I'll wait for this to come up to a boil. All right, I got some bad news. I burned the sauce. So I scrapped that, but it's a good thing. I didn't want these to cook too much longer. I want to be able to pull them out, turn them over, and baste them before they finished cooking. And I was running out of time anyway, so I burned the sauce. I just went downstairs and grabbed some barbecue sauce out of my pantry. So I'm using some malls. I don't know where you live in the country, out of the country. I think this is kind of like a Midwestern thing. I don't know that you can buy this. I think we've had out-of-state relatives that have bought this while they're here because they really, really like it. So anyway, that's what I'm going to put on here. So I'm just going to baste these a little bit. I was really looking forward to that sauce too. All right, then once I've got them all basted on one side, I'm going to go ahead and use my tongs and I'm going to flip these over. And I just really can't believe I burnt that sauce. Well, I can. You know what I say? Shit happens in the kitchen. Luckily, I always have like barbecue sauce or something downstairs. Or I could have made something and burned it again, I guess. All right, so then we're going to go ahead and baste the other side. And I really just kind of slather it on. I like it thick, and I like it, you know, when you put it back in the oven, it gets kind of, you know, thicker and it gets sticky, you know, sticky ribs. All right, back to the oven. I'm going to put these in there for another 20 minutes, and then I'll probably baste them once more and then back to the oven again. So in total, I want to cook them right around 40-45 minutes. All right, our cocktail ribs are done. Look at those. Aren't those beautiful? They look delicious. I love how they pull away from the bone. They just make like the perfect little finger food. So let's get in here and let's get this little guy over here. Yeah, look at this. I love the way like it gets dark and it caramelizes. Like I said, it gets really sticky. So let's give this one a try. You can really taste the marinade. So it's making me wish I hadn't burned my sauce. Speaking of which, part of the reason I burned that sauce was I put all that sugar in there and I really needed to add some more liquid. Basically, when I just started bringing that up to a boil, I was kind of turning that into a caramel. So that was my own fault. I was going to turn that into like a glaze. So I was going to add some ketchup and some other things. So I should have added that and then tried to reduce it down. But the regular barbecue sauce is good. But most importantly, like I said, I can taste the marinade through all of that. So really, really good. Really good. So I hope you guys give these a try. They're really easy to make in the oven. And I thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.